Hey guys, welcome to Code Decode. Today in this video we are going to cover some internal working of HashMap and HashSet which is changed after Java 8 performance improvement enhancement, and I'll tell you exact locations where these changes came into picture. So let's get started. While actually explaining the internal working of HashMap, you should cover it in 3 points. First, how it works on the principle of hashing it works. Secondly, you have to explain the put methods internal working and get methods internal working, and you're good to go with that. So let's get started with the principle of hashing first. So HashMap internally works on the principle of hashing. Now in the there may be chance that they'll ask you what is hashing. So hashing is nothing but an algorithm or function that maps your object to some integer value. Too much of theory, let me explain it with an example. So suppose I give you a key and you need to store it in a hash table. So HashMap works on the principle of hashing, but the internal and underlying data structure is hash table. So hash tables are nothing but array of buckets. So these are the buckets. Buckets have some locations. So you need to decide where your map key value pair is going to be stored in the form of entry object. So what you will do is you will first calculate on the basis of key, you will calculate a hash code. And how would you do that? With the function, or what you call it is an algorithm. So suppose I give you a function as percentile 10. So this is called your function or your algorithm. We're going to calculate the hash code using the key percentile 10. So if I give you a key as 5 percentile 10 will give you 5, and hence your particular key value pair or the entry object is going to be stored at this 5th position. What is hashing? Hashing is some function using some functional algorithm like percentile 10 to map your object to some integer value, and it is basically done using the hash code method. So hash code method is responsible for you to use this functional algorithm and return you the hash code where you're going to store your object. Hence it is always necessary to write the or override the hash code method in your custom object to have a better performance of HashMap, so that less collision happens. Now said that, just not overriding the hash code method will work, even you have to override the equals method. I'll tell you why I'm saying that in few minutes. And it is also necessary to have your equals and hash code contract fulfilled. We have already covered this. If you want to know more about this in detail as a separate video, let me know in the comment section. I'll create another video for the same. The first part is done. Let's move to the put and get methods internal working.
Ever felt trapped in your job? Ever felt that you're juggling between your personal life and your job? It's the sign that you're no longer enjoying what you're doing. So what you can do? Why not you can change the company where you're working around with? And how would you do that? Grab the opportunity with Relevel by Unacademy and take the hiring balls in your court. Attempt the Relevel test that is completely free for you. Prove your worth. Secure interview opportunities from the top companies like Cred, Grow, Upgrade. These companies actually offer you as high as 15 lakh. What you have to do, just take the Relevel test, which is completely free. Open the doors to your career and future. If you get selected, you will have to at least have 70% in the test. Once that is done, create your Relevel profile and interview to these companies. Wondering why do I focus so much on Relevel tests? Why is it so different from recruitment procedure? Because whenever you go to the normal recruitment procedure, it's like 5 to 6 rounds. Chances of you getting rejected in any of the one is very high. With Relevel, you are skipping all those competitions and all those innumerable rejections that you might have faced during this particular journey. So even still you are unsure why to take a test, you can here see all the people who have took the Relevel test and their Relevel Achievers Twitter handle and see yourself. Even you can take your own convenient date and time when you feel most prepared and go for that particular Relevel test. So all the very best for your future.
Now we know that map is an object which maps keys to value. So basically it's a key value pair which is stored in the hash table. So how is this key value pair implemented in Java? So let's see how does this Java people implemented this thing for us. You can see there is a static internal inner class for you. So basically the hash map has nested static class entry. So this is my class node k comma v, which implements your entry. Now it has 4 things: a hash, this is the hash code which is going to be calculated on your key, a value, and the pointer to the next node. So this is your entry class. Now if you see any explanation on any of the blogs or anywhere where this is the explanation for the put method, then this is the wrong place where you are studying about, because this was the old implementation. Now I'm going to tell you how is it changed and where is it changed and why was it changed. So for the put methods working, so now the put methods looks like this, just one single liner. No, it's not. It's the put value, which is the real method, which do all the thing for us. So this is the code, this is the new code, which I'm going to explain you. If you find this anywhere, this is the old code. So for the internal working of put method, everything in map is stored in a bucket internally, that is hash table. I've already told this. So initially the hash value is calculated using keys hash code. So where is it done? So this is the place where when you give a key and value to be put to a particular location in your hash table, then the first thing that you do is to calculate the hash. So suppose this is my hash table where I'm going to store my data, and these are the buckets at location 0, 1, 2 and so on. So what does put method do? Put method gets a key and a value. So the first thing they do is to calculate the hash from the key, and that will be the place where you're going to create your entry object and you're going to store at that particular location with that key and with that value. So the first thing is to calculate the hash. Once this is done, they have already created a hash method for you, internal method. This method is actually going to call your hash code method. If it is not overridden, the objects class hash code method is called. So once the hash code method is written with your hash code, you know where to put it. Now what is going to be put on your particular table or the hash table is the key, entry object with key comma value in the hash table. Now, what if collision happens, and how was it done in the old way and how is it done in the new way? So put method was as simple as that. So suppose I give you a key as 5 and your hash function is %10 written in your hash code method, then an entry object 5 comma your value, whatever value you are trying to store, say a string called code decode, whatever the value, that is going to be stored at the bucket location 5 as the entry object of key comma value. I give you another object to be stored with again key as 15. What will 15% give you? That is again 5. So 5 comma new code decode is also going to be stored at the same location, which is 5. Now this bucket is full, so it is going to handle and create another node, and it's the next of this is going to hold the location of 15 comma new code decode. And how will that be done? So I've already told you there's a static inner class named as entry. This entry object is having the next. This next is going to hold the collided node, which is having key as 15, value as new code decode. The initial one was having node as key as 5, value was code decode. So if you can see here, this is node 5 comma code decode is going to point to node 15 comma new code decode. If this much is clear, we are now capable enough to handle collisions. So what is collision? A collision, in collision, entry objects are stored in linked list format. When entry object needs to be stored at a particular index, map checks whether there is already an entry. If there is no entry present, entry object stored in this location. So what does this mean? So whenever you try to put something like 15 comma new code decode, what it will do is it will first go and find the hash code. So the hash code becomes 5. So it goes there and check whether is there any entry object already present. If it is not present, then the entry object is stored at that location itself. But in our case, it is present. So if there is already an object sitting at the calculated index, the next attribute is checked until it is not null. This is similar to linked list creation. So if you have these 3 linked list creation, then you have the 4th node to be created. Then the next to this will be pointing to this, and next to this will be null. So this is similar to adding something in the linked list at the end. So until the null is not reached, you will be navigating to the next node, next node, next node, and as soon as you get null, you will put your node at the end, and the node to next will be pointing to null. Now what if the keys are same? So this was the case when your keys are different, 5 and 15. What if I put 5 comma new code decode? So this can be a case that I want to replace my object, entry object, from a value code decode to new code decode. At this particular point of time, what we will do is we will iterate and we will check if another value's object is having the same key as entered before. So what it should do, it should replace the old value. So what it will do, it will iterate over the linked list and it will now call the equals method to find the equality of two objects, two keys. So if the two keys are equal, then the object is going to be replaced. So all the entry objects in linked list will have similar hash code, but equals method will be the test for true equality. So what happens is, if your hash code is same, what it will go check, is my key equal? No, it is not equal. Now it will move next. Is it equal? No, it is not equal. Go to the next. If it is equal, replace it, or else if null comes into the picture, then append it at the end of linked list. So this is the summary of everything. Now this was the old way. Now you will be asking me, what is the new way? So suppose I am giving you all the objects like 5 code decode, 15 code decode, 25 new code decode, and so on. So all your objects are going to be held at 5th bucket. So the worst case scenario will become order of n, because the worst case scenario in linked list is order of n. To prevent that, Java 8 came with some improvement. So what they have done is, they have removed the alternative hash function they have added in Java 7. The bucket is containing large number of collided keys. These are going to be not stored in linked list, rather it is going to be stored in a balance tree. Now with the balance tree in place, your worst case performance becomes order of log n, which is better than order of n. So this is the performance improvement. Now you'll ask me, how is it done now? So if you can see here, we have some thresholds created. So as soon as your threshold reaches 8 nodes, so suppose I have these 8 elements in my linked list and the last is pointing to null. Now if I try to add one more, the 3 threshold is reached. The 8 elements are already there. So this is going to be converted to some kind of balanced tree. So now it will be like first node and then compared with the other nodes. So basically when bucket becomes too big, that is threshold is reached, that is currently 8, the hash map dynamically replace the linked list to balanced tree. This way you have the better complexity of log n in terms of the balance tree. So what is the benefit? The benefit is complexity reduces from order of n to order of log n, because these beans support faster lookup when they are overpopulated. Now to implement this particular thing, you should always have your class implement comparable, because then only you will be able to compare your keys and store them in the tree format, because they need to be compared for left and right arrivals. So if the 3 is greater than 1, then it will be the right child, and if it is lower, then it will be left side. This is all the part of trees. What if I start deleting some elements from the hash table? So what will happen at some time when it will become only 6 elements, it's no use to create a tree. So there is also a variable called as untreefy threshold. So when your particular hash, the collided bucket is now having less than 6 elements, it is untreefied and it is converted back to the linked list. So now in a very short form, I'm going to explain this in these lines. In Java 8, hashmap replaces the linked list with a binary tree when the number of elements in bucket reaches certain threshold, which is 8 in terms of code, treefy threshold. While converting the list to binary tree, hash code is used to branch the variables. So how are you going to branch and decide which is small, which is bigger one? So the smaller one will be the left child, the bigger one will be the right child. So hash code becomes your parameter to decide the branching. If 2 different hash codes are there in the same bucket, the bigger one goes to right and the smaller one goes to the left. But what will happen if 2 hash codes are same? So how will you decide which is going to be the left and which is going to be right? There comes the concept of key comparison. So always make your keys comparable, because now they will be compared to determine it should be the left or the right one. This is the summary of everything which is changed with Java 1.8. So you understand, in the put method things are changed here. When you put some object, the linked list is created, but as soon as your threshold is reached, it is converted to binary tree. Binary tree is actually being used a branching variable. The branching variable is nothing but hash code. If your hash code is different, then left and right is calculated easily. If they are same, then keys are used to determine your left and right child nodes. So this change is done only to hash map and linked hash map and concurrent hash map, nothing else, nowhere else. So this is how the collisions are handled in the new format. Now if this much is clear, let me quickly move ahead to have the get methods working internally. Now I'll show that also to you with the code. Now when you try to get a particular entry object, you give the key. With that key, you are going to calculate the hash code, and hash code will give you the exact bucket location. On that bucket location, you are going to traverse and reach to your key using the equals method. So equals is the determination of equality inside a bucket if collision is there, and hash code is the way to fetch this vertical line in the buckets in the hash table. So horizontal way equals method, vertical way hash code method. This is why overriding hash code and equals is important to you. Now this get method, you give a key. What is the first thing that you will do? The get node method is called. The first thing that you do is again calculate the hash code. Once the hash code is calculated, then comes the check. The first check is always the first node. This is done for the performance purpose. So it says that if my object is the first node, return it as soon as you get it. This increases your performance. So how do you check whether it is the first one? So you are given a key. You check whether key is equal by the address comparison or the key is equal by dot equals comparison, that is content comparison. In both of the cases, if you find it, the both are equal, return the first element and this is complexity of order 1. If that is not the case, then there are two cases. Now there can be a case that a tree has been created due to collision, or maybe if it is the elements are less than 6, then it is still in the linked list format. You understand what does that mean? So what if the collision has happened at this particular bucket location? Previously it was so easy because it was just linked list. You have to just traverse and find your key. Now it is not that easy. It is complex because now at this bucket location there can be two cases. It can either be a tree which is formed and in tree you need to search your entry object and return, or there can be a linked list and you need to traverse and find it out. So this is how Java people have done. They first check whether it is an instance of tree node. If it is an instance of tree node, go get into tree, get your hands dirty, find the tree node and return it to you. So this is tree traversal in the first case. If it is not tree, then your task is easy. This is something traversing a linked list. So this is the logic of traversing a linked list. What does this logic says? Go on checking the keys equality. If it is found, return. If it is not found, go to next until you don't find it either to the required entry object or to null. So this is what it is done. Search until and unless you find either it is not null, or return it as soon as you get your key. So this is simple code. If you find your key, return it. If you doesn't find it and you might have reached to null, return null. So this is the logic for traversing your linked list. Else, if you don't find it, even then return null. So let's quickly conclude this. You pass a key, you calculate the hash code. It checks the first node with either the equals comparison or dot equals comparison. If it is same, return it. This is for performance purpose. If it is not same, then there can be two conditions. It is an instance of tree. Go get tree node method, get your object from the tree by tree search. If it is still the linked list, traverse the list until you don't find it and return it. If in all the cases you don't find it, return null. So this is the get method's internal working. Now there are some important points to remember. The important point to remember is the entry object is the one which is stored in the data structure, which is the hash table internally. A particular index location is referred to as bucket, and bucket holds all the other elements in the linked list format or the tree format. Now hash code method of key is to calculate your index location, and keys equals method is used to maintain uniqueness in keys. So what does that mean? The hash code method is to find the bucket location. Equals method is used to find the exact element which you are going to return or where you are going to replace if the same key is passed. So this is to maintain uniqueness in the hash table, hash map. Now values, hash code and equals are not used. So if you're using your custom value, custom object in the value, you don't have to override hash codes and equals method. Not necessary. Hash code of null key is always 0 and hence it is always stored in the 0th index. Now you will be asking about, if this is all about hash map, what is the internal working of hash set? So it is so simple. Hash set actually uses hash map internally to store its object. So whenever you create a hash set object, one hash map object is always associated with you. So this is your hash set class. If you can see, while creating your hash set, the constructor actually creates a hash map internally. So this is why I say hash set actually internally uses hash map only. Now if this is the case, the hash map is used to store the key and value pair. Now you will be asking me if key is your actual element. So if I want to create a set of, say suppose 1, 2, 3, 2, 5. So if I want to create a set, I should be having something like 1, 2, 5, 3, something like that. So how is it going to be stored in the hash map? Because it's a key value pair. So where will you store a key and what will you store as a value? So key is going to be your element which you're going to store in the hash map, and value is always going to be a constant which is present. So this is the constant which is always stored. This is nothing but present. It is a type object. This is static and final. So this is nothing but, they already said that this is a dummy value associated with the object in the backing map in the key value pair. Now this is the present, which is actually that I have already shown you, its type is object. Now what you will ask me, how the add, so in map we had put and get method. Now in set you are going to have add and remove method. So how does add method actually adds your data to hash map? So add method, like suppose 1 comma present is going to be stored in this hash map. So how would the hash key, the key is used to calculate the hash code. As soon as you get the hash code, you get your bucket location, and there your entry object 1 comma present is going to be stored. So I am going to show you the add method. So this is the add method. Map dot put, key is the element that you're going to store and present is the constant value. Now you will ask me, how do you remove it? So the remove method is also similar. For the remove method, what we say is map dot remove o. If what does this remove method do? Remove actually returns the previous value associated with the key. And so when you remove it, what should be your return type? The return type of this map dot remove method is the previous value associated with the key. So this is the previous value. This is the remove method. It should return you present. If it is removed, its value must be present. So if present equals to present, it will return you true, else it will return you false. So if you're going to remove something from your hash map, and if that value is present in the hash map, it will return you true. If it is not present, it will return you false. So this is how the remove method works in the hash set. So that was all about hash map and hash set internal working after Java 1.8. Thank you.